Hello everyone. In today's video, let us learn about our plasmids. Plasmids are extra chromosomal DNA that is found in many bacterial strains. So, as you can see in this diagram, this is a bacterial cell which is containing the bacterial chromosomal DNA, and it has an extra chromosomal DNA. That is, apart from chromosome, it also has a DNA, and that is called as plasmids. Plasmids are usually very small, they are circular, and they can replicate independently of the bacterial DNA, chromosomal DNA. So, plasmids are circular in nature and they can replicate on its own. The replication is not dependent on the bacterial chromosomal DNA. Plasmids are usually found in bacteria and certain archaeal species. Let us move on to the structure of plasmids. As I told you, plasmids are made up of double stranded DNA and they are circular DNA. They are called as closed circular DNA molecule because the circular structure of the plasmid is made possible because the two ends of the double strands are joined by the covalent bonds. These covalent bonds are phosphodiester bond and hydrogen bonds. Plasmids are usually small in size when compared to the chromosomal DNA. Let us see the various components of plasmids. Origin of replication is present in plasmid. There is a polylinker site in the plasmid. Antibiotic resistant genes are present in a plasmid. A promoter region is present and a primer binding site is present. These are the general components of a plasmid. So, moving on to the origin of replication. The origin of replication is also called as ORI site, ORI site, or it is also called as replicon. This site is specific to the location in the strand where replication is going to occur. So, ORI site is the region which initiates the replication of the plasmid. This ORI site is having AT base pairs. So, ORI site is rich in AT base pairs because it is easy to separate the strands because A and T are adenine and thymine residues. They are having only two hydrogen bonds. Because they have only two hydrogen bonds, it is very easy to break the two hydrogen bonds and separate the DNA for the replication fork to form during the replication. So, origin of replication is the region which will initiate the replication by forming a replication fork. The next component is the polylinker component or multiple cloning site. As the name says, it is cloning site. So, for genetic engineering studies, various gene of interest molecule, various DNA molecules that we have to study can be inserted in this region. So, polylinker site or multiple cloning site contains a large amount of restriction sites. They have many restriction sites, so therefore the restriction sites can be cleaved and gene of interest can be inserted in this region, and we can go for genetic engineering studies. So multiple cloning site is a region where DNA can be inserted. Which DNA? Our gene of interest can be inserted. The next component is antibiotic resistance genes. So, this antibiotic resistant genes is the main component of the plasmid. Now, these genes play a very important role in drug resistance. They carry the genes responsible for drug resistance. What are these drugs? Antibiotics. They carry the genes responsible for antibiotic resistance. So, this makes the treatment of some diseases more challenging. These antibiotic resistant genes, since they carry the antibiotic resistant gene in them, they are going to make the treatment of some diseases very challenging. So, these antibiotic resistant genes, the plasmids that are carrying antibiotic resistant genes, can be transferred from one bacteria to another bacteria by conjugation. So our major interest lies here, that is our topic is R plasmid. So antibiotic resistant gene is present in plasmid. This is the area of our interest. So in further slides we will be talking more about antibiotic resistance, and R plasmids are the plasmids which will carry antibiotic resistance, that we will be seeing in our further slides. So the next component is a promoter region. So promoter region is a region where RNA polymerase will bind. So therefore promoter region helps in transcription. So they are the region where transcriptional machinery like R polymerase and other transcription factors are attracted. So our promoter region is a region which helps in transcription. Then the next region that we have is primer binding site. This is a short sequence of DNA that is present on a plasmid, which helps for PCR amplification and DNA sequencing. If we have to do any DNA sequencing studies, or if we have to do PCR studies, then primer binding site will help in these PCR amplification and DNA sequencing. So that is all about the structure and components of plasmid. Let us see the different types of plasmids. So we have R plasmids. As I told you, R plasmids are antibiotic resistant plasmid or drug resistant plasmids. So they confer the drug resistant or antibiotic resistant genes. Then we have sex factor plasmids. So sex factor plasmids are the plasmids which help in conjugation. They help in the conjugation. Then we have col plasmids. Col plasmids are plasmids which will produce colicins. These colicins are proteins that prevent growth of certain susceptible bacterial strains that do not produce that do not contain a col plasmid. So these are col plasmids are E. coli plasmids. They are responsible for producing colicins. Colicins are certain proteins. Then we have virulence plasmid, which carries the virulent characteristics in them. They are responsible for causing diseases. So they are virulence plasmids. They have virulent in nature. Then we have degradative plasmids, which will get degraded usually in the bacterial cell. That is why it is called as degradative plasmids. So these are the different types of plasmids that are there. So our interest lies in R plasmids. So today our topic is going to be R plasmids. So let us move into R plasmids. R plasmids is called as resistance plasmid. They are also referred to as antimicrobial resistance plasmid, or they are also called as drug resistance plasmids. So resistant plasmids are a type of plasmid that are going to carry the genes that play a very important role in antibiotic resistance. So these R plasmids are going to play a very important role in antibiotic resistance. These R plasmids, as I told you, they are plasmids. So therefore they are small circular DNA elements. So plasmids are self-replicating. They can replicate independently. Then these plasmids will carry the genes responsible for antibiotic resistance, as I told you. So they can carry the genes responsible for antibiotic resistance, and also genes that can resist certain metal ions, which includes antibiotics like sulfonamide, streptomycin, tetracycline, arsenic, cadmium is a metal ion. So these R plasmids will carry gene for antibiotic, as I told you, antimicrobials like sulfonamide, streptomycin, tetracycline. They can also carry the genes that is responsible for resistance against certain metal ions like arsenic, cadmium, mercury, and so on. So R plasmids will carry genes for antibiotic resistance as well as metal ion resistance. Certain microorganisms are resistant to metal ions. Some are sensitive to metal ions. So when metal ion is there, some organisms, some microorganisms or some bacteria will die. That is called as oligodynamic action of metals. So when a metal is used to kill a microorganism, then that is called as oligodynamic action of metals. whereas certain microorganisms will carry the resistance for these metal ions. They are called as R plasmids, resistance plasmids. So let us move on to the history. This R plasmids was originally isolated from the bacterium that is Salmonella dysenteriae during an outbreak of dysentery in Japan. So from then it was found in E. coli and many other bacteria. So first this R plasmid was isolated from Salmonella dysenteriae in Japan when there was an dysentery outbreak in Japan. So let us move on to the structure of R plasmid, that is resistant plasmid. So this R plasmids carry two segments. Here they are having two segments of DNA. They are the contagious segments of DNA. Most R plasmid consists of two contagious segments of DNA. So the first segment is called as RTF, that is resistance transfer factor. The first segment, the blue region that you are seeing, is the resistant transfer factor. This resistant transfer factor carries genes regulating DNA replication. So they carry the genes which will regulate DNA replication. See, you can see there is origin of replication here. So they carry the genes that is responsible for DNA replication. They carry the genes that are responsible for origin of transfer. Origin of transfer means R factor, where they can synthesize F pilus for conjugation, and um, they help in conjugation process. So they carry the genes that is responsible for transferring of these plasmids, transferring of the genes. So they carry the genes responsible for the transferring of genes itself. So they can transfer the plasmid to another species. They also carry the genes that is responsible for pilus synthesis. So if the conjugation has to happen, then the sex pilus, F pilus, has to be synthesized. So they carry the genes for sex pilus or F pilus or pilus. So these are the genes that are present in the RTF factor. So this is the segment of R plasmid. They carry another segment that is called as drug resistance segment. That is why R factor. They are also called as R determinants. This R determinants will vary in size. RTF factor is larger compared to the R determinant. RTF segment is larger compared to R determinant. R determinant is small, but they can vary in size from one bacterial species to another bacterial species. Now this R plasmid commonly carry resistance to drugs like ampicillin, tetracycline, chloramphenicol, streptomycin, kanamycin, sulfonamide. So they carry drug resistance for various drugs like I mentioned. So R determinant is the major segment that is going to carry the drug resistance. RTF factor is the transfer of R plasmid, resistance transfer factor. So they are responsible for transferring of genes from one bacterial to another bacterial species, or plasmids. They are responsible for transferring plasmid from one bacteria to another bacteria. So that is why they carry origin of transfer, they have origin of replication, and the genes that are responsible for synthesizing pilus. Whereas R determinant segment is the segment which carry genes for drug resistance. That is about the structure of resistance plasmid. Now this resistant plasmid and R determinant is separated by a IS element. What is IS element? Insertional sequence element. So they are usually separated by insertional sequence element. This insertional sequence element promote the exchange of R determinant between different types of resistant transfer factor units. So they are going to help in the exchange of R determinant between the different types of RTF units. So insertional sequence element is present in between R determinant and the resistant transfer factor, which will actually separate out these two segments. That's all. That the main the main function of this IS element is to separate R determinant and resistant transfer factor. So resistant plasmids are divided into two main groups, that is narrow host range group and broad host range group. Narrow host range group, as the name says, host range, narrow. The host range is narrow. That means after replication, these not after replication, narrow host range means the host range is narrow, so the R plasmids will be present within single species, so they get replicated within the same species or single species. That is why narrow host range, the host range is very narrow, that only in one species it will be present, a type of R plasmids will be present. It can be broad host range group also. So broad host range group means they can be transferred from one bacterial species to a different type of bacterial species. So it can be easily transferred between bacterial species, from one species of bacteria to another species of bacteria. That is why it is called as broad host range. Narrow means the host range is narrow, only in one bacterial species it can be transferred. Broad host range means the host range is very broad, so it can be transferred from one bacterial species to different bacterial species. That is about broad host range group. Let us see the functions of plasmids. As I told you, the resistant plasmid, the main function is they carry the drug resistance genes. So they are multi drug resistant, so they can, the bacteria will survive in even if you give drugs to them, like antibiotics to them. So that is, they carry the drugs responsible for drug resistance genes. They carry the drug resistant genes. They are also involved in the gene carrier for the autonomous replication. Autonomous replication means self replication. So they carry the genes that are involved in self replication. They help conjugation, and they also have genes responsible for resistance to antibiotics like ampicillin, tetracycline, streptomycin, and so on. The resistant plasmid contain genes that can build resistance against the antibiotic. Since they are building resistance against the antibiotic, they help the bacteria in producing pili, because they can produce pili because they also contain pilus genes that are responsible in producing pilus, that we saw in our structure. So they help in conjugation as well. So these are the various functions of R plasmid. The main thing is they have antibiotic drug resistance, therefore the treatment for these for certain diseases, bacterial diseases, is very challenging. That helps the R plasmid. Then that helps the bacteria, sorry, not R plasmid, that helps the bacteria. They also can help, since they have pilus responsible for genes responsible for producing pilus, they can help in conjugation. These are the major functions. Let us see the horizontal gene transfer or host gene transfer. As I told you, R plasmids have broad host range. So therefore, R plasmids can be transferred from one bacterial species to another bacterial species. So R plasmids will have F factor in them. F factor means the factor that can transfer genes, the origin of transfer genes. Here we saw, no, origin of transfer genes, this is our F factor. So this region is actually our F factor. So since the R plasmid contain F factor, they can construct a sex pilus which will help in horizontal gene transfer between the donor bacterium. Who is our donor bacterium? The one which contains R plasmid. So since the donor bacteria has R plasmid which contains F factor, they construct the sex pilus which helps in the horizontal gene transfer from the donor bacterium to the recipient bacterium. Because of this, antibiotic resistance can be easily spread among various bacterial population. Then R factors can also be taken up. Apart from this is conjugation. The first step that I mentioned is conjugation, because a sex pilus is constructed between a donor bacterium and a recipient bacterium. Therefore the R plasmid is transferred from one bacterium to another bacterium. That is about conjugation. R plasmids can also be taken up by the bacteria from other bacterial species through transformation and transduction. Transformation means naked DNA in a solution will be taken up by the potent bacteria. A bacteria can just take up the naked DNA that is present in the solution. The plasmid DNA will be present in the solution. If there is a bacteria, it can take up the DNA. That is transformation. Transduction is when a bacteriophage is involved. A phage is going to take up the plasmid and it is going to donate it to another bacteria. That is transduction. So R factors or R plasmids can also be taken up by other bacterial species from transformation and transduction. Because resistant transfer factor, that is the transfer factor, is present in the R plasmid. That factor is actually responsible for transferring genes from one bacterial species to another bacterial species, which we saw in our structure as well. So that is about horizontal gene transfer, and that's all about R plasmids. If you have any doubts about R plasmids, you can ask me. Thank you